Hello, everybody. Welcome to Late Night Football. Welcome to another episode of On This Day, where we, of course, look back at historical events in the world of football that happened on this day many, many years ago or some years ago. In this case, we're going back 10 years ago to 2013, July 24th, when Arsenal submitted a 40 million plus £1 bid for Luis Suarez to sign him for Liverpool. Now, the story goes that Luis Suarez had a £40 million release clause. Now, there's some conjecture whether this was a release clause. According to Liverpool, it was not a release clause. It was basically a clause where when they had that sort of bid, they had to inform Suarez that they've got any bid of that amount. Basically, any amount over £40 million, they had to inform Luis Suarez that that bid has been done before they could reject it. Now, on the other hand, Luis Suarez thought this was like a release clause where once it's paid, he can move to another club, or you can negotiate with another club. So there's still some confusion about how that worked. And of course, Arsenal, I think for some reason, Arsene Wenger and Arsenal were kind of miffed at how Liverpool were handling things. So they put in a 40 million plus £1 bid. It was cheeky. It was a little bit. I think this was post Fergie era Wenger. I think was a little bit more. I think it was starting to be a little bit more annoyed and irritated about how things were going. Probably, you remember the whole thing with Jose Mourinho that happened, where he kind of pushed him across when he came back to the Premier League. So things like that. I think this was, troll era. We could call him troll era Wenger. But he put that bid in, and Luis Suarez wanted to go to Arsenal at the time, and of course Liverpool rejected that bid because they thought they could. And I thought there was a bit of a tiff because of that between Liverpool and Luis Suarez. And then of course the PFA got involved, but they were like, well, how can you do this? How can you breach contract like that? Ultimately, of course, Suarez stayed at the club, and 2013-2014 was up until Klopp came to Liverpool. Probably for the next 5 years, that was one of their best seasons that they ever had, but they became ever so close to winning the league title. Probably should have won it that season as well, but they didn't. Of course, a year later, Luis Suarez, after that bid, of course, a year later in 2014, Luis Suarez goes to Barcelona, wins the treble in 2014-2015, and of course, as I say, the rest is history. But how could things have worked out if Arsenal's bid had been accepted, if Luis Suarez had moved to Arsenal? Now, there is, of course, another line here where Steven Gerrard said that he spoke to Luis Suarez and said he shouldn't move to Arsenal because, in a year's time, there'll be other bigger clubs that will be interested in him. Now, some might, you can ask a question, are Arsenal not a big club? Are they a big club? Was that Gerrard trolling Arsenal? Whatever. But you can't deny that Suarez would have been a real X factor signing for Arsenal. Would he have helped them win the league title in 2013-2014? I don't think so. I don't think he would have, because I don't think the issue for Arsenal was scoring goals. They had goal scorers. The issue really was their defense. A lot of the games, I remember that 5-0 to Liverpool, where they just conceded 5 in like 20 minutes or something. That the defense had pretty much gone to sleep. And I do feel for a long time, Wenger, I think, had given up on defense. There's a reason why he, when he's working in FIFA, he keeps trying to change the offside rule to benefit attackers. There's a reason why he does that, because he doesn't think defenders or defending is an essential part of the game. He's always about attacking and a fluid attacking play and all of that. I do feel that at times he neglected the CDM role. He neglected, getting proper defenders in. And look, some of that defensive signings were just ridiculous. Were just like, it was almost like, well, I need to have 8 defenders, so I'm going to buy 8 defenders and put them there. There's some really odd signings, but I do feel that Liverpool, the signing Luis Suarez, would have been a good move for Arsenal, but I don't think it would have been a game changer, and that we'd be saying, oh, well, remember that 2013-2014 title winning Arsenal side. That would have been the case. I think that would not have made an impact. What it would have made an impact, though, is I don't think Luis Suarez would have gone to Barcelona in 2014. He would not have gone to Barcelona because he just transferred to Arsenal. There was no way he was going to go to Barcelona. And then how does the course of history change? Would Barcelona have won the treble without him? Would Luis Suarez have ever gone to Barcelona and won the Champions League? These are questions. I do think eventually he might have gone to Barcelona or Real Madrid eventually, maybe 2-3 years after the transfer. He probably would have gone to one of those clubs because he's that good. But would he have won the Champions League? Would he have won with the Premier League? Would he have won the Premier League? Would he have won La Liga? Yeah, probably would have won La Liga, though, because if you play for Real Madrid or Barcelona, odds are you are going to win La Liga at some point. But would he have done the treble? Maybe not. So it's funny how things work out, right? I mean, in a way, it worked out well for Liverpool because they got an absolute world-class player for a year who brought them ever so close to the league title. It worked out well for Barcelona because ultimately they did sign him. which they otherwise probably would not have had a chance to sign him at the time that they did sign him. And he, of course, won multiple league titles, did really well for them. For a while, Barcelona once again looked like they could be recreating the 2009, 2011 days. Never came close to that, but very, very close to recreating that. And it was phenomenal to watch. So, and of course, he became a world-class player. Would he have become the player that he became if he had gone to Arsenal? Would his development have gone in the same way? Probably not as well. I mean, those are kind of questions we can't answer, but I mean, some might say at the end of the day, thank you to Steven Gerrard for keeping him at Liverpool for another year. And others might say, well, thank you to Wenger for making such a cheeky bid instead of making a proper bid and getting him signed. Probably could have paid 50, 60 million pounds, and maybe Liverpool would have agreed to it. But for some reason, I think Wenger decided to be cheeky. But it's what if, right? It's what if, and we can all speculate on what happened or what could have happened. Ultimately, this is my opinion, and this is, I think, how it would have gone. But share your thoughts. What do you think? What do you think would have happened if Suarez had gone to Arsenal? What do you think would have happened to Liverpool? In 2013-14, would they have come this close to the league title? Probably not. What do you think would have happened to Arsenal? What do you think would have happened to Barcelona? It's all wonderful questions to ask and try to answer, right? So do share your thoughts, of course, in the comment section. If you enjoyed this video, smash a like. Appreciate that, of course. So please give us a like if you enjoyed this video. Let us know also in the comments if you want to see other such type of videos. And always love to hear your feedback, of course. And do subscribe to our channel on YouTube. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Always appreciate your support, as mentioned before, in growing this channel. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this. We'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.